Something went down in Spain, and it wasn't on the TV broadcast. If you think Ferrari's weekend ended with a decent podium and some routine strategy calls, think again. There's a story unfolding behind those red pit walls, and it's one fans weren't meant to hear until now. Let's just say it starts with a quiet radio message, builds with frustration, and ends with one of the sport's greatest champions calling his own car the worst it's ever been. Yeah, buckle up. It's lap 7 in Barcelona. Charles Leclerc is behind Lewis Hamilton, but something's off. Leclerc's pushing, and you can hear it in his voice. He's done being polite. "We're losing time," he tells his engineer. Just 4 words, but they land hard. You see, this wasn't just a teammate battle. This was Leclerc reminding Ferrari of a quiet deal. He sacrificed his Saturday to win on Sunday. He ran a single Q3 lap, saved tires, took the hit on the grid, but now here he is, stuck behind Hamilton and boiling over. And that's when the untelevised part kicks in. He says it straight, "Guys, I'm sacrificing quali to be fast in the race, not to then slow us down in the race. So, yeah, you choose." That's not a request. That's a dare. 2 laps later, Ferrari made their choice. Switch position yellow. 10 seconds later, we are swapping the cars. Hamilton slows just enough at the end of the straight. Leclerc slides by. No resistance, no drama on the outside. At least not where the cameras could see it. And from that point on, the story splits. Leclerc rockets toward another podium, his 3rd of the season. Not a win, but solid, controlled, smart. Hamilton, he sinks like a stone, overtaken by a Sauber, saved only by a Max Verstappen penalty. His debrief, brutal. "This car is the worst it's ever been," he says, barely hiding the disgust. And then comes the silence, the real kind. After the race, Lewis was done sugarcoating. He didn't blame the strategy, didn't accuse the team. Instead, he turned it all inward. "I just had a really bad day. It was terrible. There's no point explaining it. It's probably just me." That last line, it hit like a punch. A 7-time world champion. The man who made F1 look easy for a decade, now sounding like he's questioning if he still got it. Even Nico Rosberg, never one to sugarcoat things, looked genuinely concerned. "It's hard to watch," he admitted. "He was just slow, and he doesn't have answers." You ever watch something and think, "This just doesn't feel right"? That's what Spain was for Formula One fans. Something was off, not just with the race, not just with Ferrari, but with Lewis Hamilton himself. It wasn't the kind of bad day you can brush off. This one lingered, and now even the people who know him best are starting to say the quiet part out loud. Let's rewind. Hamilton finally outqualifies Charles Leclerc for just the 2nd time this season. It's a small win, but a win nonetheless. Sunday rolls around and bam, reality hits. 12 laps in, Leclerc is told to pass him. Team orders. Again. And just like that, the guy who once commanded every race from the front is playing rear gunner. Not because of strategy, because he just wasn't fast enough. It wasn't a slow fade either. It was brutal. At one point, even Nico Hülkenberg's Sauber sails past him like it's 2012 again. Lewis finishes 7th on track. Only moves up to 6th thanks to a Max Verstappen penalty. But here's where it gets worse. Nico Rosberg, the man who once went toe-to-toe with Lewis, who knows his strengths, weaknesses, everything. What did he say after Barcelona? "It's hard to watch." He didn't sugarcoat a thing, said it flat out. Lewis was just slow, said the race was shockingly bad, that something might have been wrong with the car, maybe the floor, maybe not. But the most haunting part? He said it feels like Lewis has no answers anymore. And that's the one thing great drivers never lose, belief that they can figure it out. Now, Rosberg called it what it is, a very dark situation. After the flag dropped, Hamilton didn't rant, didn't blame the team. He just sounded defeated. "This is the worst it's ever been," he said to his engineer. And when asked if Ferrari could help fix what's wrong, he didn't hold his breath. "I'm sure they won't. It's probably just me." That right there, That's not the voice of the Hamilton who dragged a bad car to the podium in the past. That's not the guy who once refused to go down without a fight. That's a legend questioning himself. It sounded dramatic. It was dramatic. After the Spanish Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton didn't hold back. He called it the worst race he's ever experienced, complained of a car that felt completely off, and left the paddock looking like a man who just fought a ghost and lost. But behind the scenes, Ferrari's reaction wasn't quite what you'd expect. It started with that look on his face. You know the one. Lewis wasn't just disappointed, he looked lost. Sixth place sounds okay on paper, but Hamilton wasn't buying it. He told reporters the balance was horrific, said there was nothing positive to take from the race. His body language said more than the words. Asked what he was looking forward to before Canada? He didn't say setup improvements. He didn't say bounce back. He said one word, home. And in a follow-up with Sky, it got even more personal. Terrible day, don't know what to say. When told maybe Ferrari could find answers, his reply hit hard. I'm sure they won't. It's probably just me. The media wanted clarification, answers, maybe even some accountability from Ferrari's leadership. Instead, they got Fred Vasseur. When asked about Hamilton's worst race ever comment, Vasseur didn't exactly back his driver. It's not the case, he said calmly, just like that. In fact, he pointed out that Hamilton ran ahead of George Russell for most of the race, until the final stint, when something, still undisclosed, went wrong. And no, he wasn't about to reveal what that something was. When pushed for details, I won't tell you. Classic Vasseur, straight-faced, tight-lipped. Leclerc had his own late race issues too, apparently. But again, no details from Ferrari's boss. Instead, Vasseur shifted the focus to Ferrari's rise in the constructors' standings, from way behind Red Bull and Mercedes after the China debacle, to second place now. He even dropped this gem. I prefer to be second than fourth or fifth. But make no mistake, he's not satisfied. He made it clear Ferrari's eyes are locked on McLaren, not the standings, the pace. Because according to Fred, Ferrari weren't that far off on race speed for the first 40 laps in Spain. Not bad for a race Hamilton says was a disaster. If you watch the Spanish Grand Prix thinking Red Bull had it all figured out, think again. The final laps, absolute chaos. Max Verstappen, usually clinical, went rogue. Team orders, track limits, a collision. And then, a post-race twist that no one predicted. Let's break it down piece by piece. Picture this. Verstappen, late in the race, deep in the fight. George Russell's in the mix. Max dives into turn one, cuts the track to hold position, and boom, contact. It didn't look clean, and the stewards didn't think so either. Immediately, the call came through from GP, his race engineer. Give the place back. But it was already too late. Verstappen finished fifth on the road. Then came the penalty. 10 seconds, 3 license points, and now he's just one away from a race ban. Yes, Max Verstappen, one mistake away from sitting out a Grand Prix. Now here's where it gets interesting. Post-race, Verstappen wasn't exactly apologetic. On the radio, he was furious. With the strategy, with the tires, with how it all unraveled under the safety car. But then Monday rolls around, and something shifted. On social media, Max posted a surprisingly reflective message. Said the move on Russell was not right, said it shouldn't have happened. Emotions ran high. He owned it. That alone would have raised eyebrows, but it didn't stop there. Red Bull boss Christian Horner came forward with his own admission. Max apologized to the team during the debrief. Yep, the same Max who's usually all fire and fists. This time he put his hand up. Let's rewind to where things started falling apart. The safety car. Red Bull had gone aggressive, 3-stop strategy. It was working. They were hunting McLaren's podium. Then out of nowhere, the safety car flipped the script. They had a choice. Leave Max out on worn rubber or pit for fresh hards and roll the dice. They chose the latter. He came out swinging. But when the restart hit, frustration boiled over, and the Russell move happened. Horner defended the call, said they made the best decision they could with the data they had. In hindsight? Maybe not, but racing doesn't let you use hindsight in real time.